Good morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here with Midwest Market Management. I've got Riley Sykard on here today. It is Thursday, September 11th, and we are going to jump into our second version of South America weather for the 25-26 growing season. Huge continent, Riley. What do we got in store for us today?
Maps now looking similar to Tuesday, but we had some changes in between that I'll mention briefly. But
Sure.
first thing I want to do, as always, put into perspective how big of a region this is. So your first crop corn is going to be anywhere from Rio de Sol all the way up to Mato Grosso. These southern regions are going to have more of that first crop corn, as the north will have more beans because they can do safrinha crop corn. So this is a huge area. Put into perspective, this region of Mato Grosso, if you put it on a U.S. map, almost the entire Midwest is just that one region. So this is not a small little area that you can talk about their weather in 1 to 2 sentences on a Word document and say, this is what it is. You got to be very in depth with how you look at it. And we try to give a pretty quick overview, but it's a lot to look through. So areas to watch. This is the total crop production. During this time, I'm going to go more to the planting progress. Clint, you and I were just talking about it. Provinces, the percentage of first crop corn they have is here on the left. And then the planting progress that we talked about on Tuesday. So the southern regions for first crop corn actually represent a pretty high percentage, with a lot more beans being to the north. So moving into temperatures here, temperatures have been the one constant. The north is hot, the south is fairly cool. And there's
by
not a whole lot
cool,
of,
he means 90.
yeah, but which they are coming out of their hot and dry season. So it's not really a shocker to see temperatures this warm, but did read reports this week, areas of Mato Grosso, at this time, it's the driest they've had for soil moisture in 10 years. So worth monitoring, but way too early to cause a big reaction. But 6 to 10 day temperatures, very similar story here. A lot of regions still in the hundreds to areas down south where corn planting is underway. Some stuff slipping into the 80s, but a lot of it mid to upper 80s to even 90s. So warm temperatures over the next 10 days. Last 2 weeks of rainfall here. The southernmost provinces, they got some rainfall. Everybody else has still been without. Moving into the 1 to 5 day here, Clint. Nothing for the second report here in a row. We got a big bunch of nothing for rainfall. 6 to 10 day. This is where there's a little bit of changes. Tuesday afternoon and yesterday, the assumption was there was rain added in the forecast for a lot of Mato Grosso and moving all the way through most of central Brazil. And they backed that off here again last night. So part of the reason that beans are seeing a little bit of a green screen today, and they had a little bit of a red screen on Wednesday, is that rainfall backing off and after being added. So 6 to 10 day now looks pretty dry. Not really much reason to help farmers get in the field and start planting. But there has been some model changes on that over the last couple of days. So moving into the 1 to 13 day, so the next 2 weeks of time frame, getting into last week of September. Some chances for rain in the south and western Mato Grosso when that's still a lot closer towards the rainforest there in the northwest area of Brazil. Not a lot of crop in that region, so not a whole lot of help coming from rain over the next 2 weeks. So wouldn't be shocked to see planting off to a fairly slow start in the north, with a lot of farmers there waiting for rain to get the planters rolling. So all that said, Clint, that's all I have today.
Yeah, looks good, Riley. And also, I guess the moral of the story here is we're trying to find some moisture to plant into. Really no sense of urgency at this point in time, still pretty early in the game. Things to think about moving forward is that particularly in the northern zones there, that if we get to the point where planting is delayed, The risk really isn't as much to the soybeans that are getting planted now as it does narrow the window for the Safrinha corn crop situation later in the year, because the later they plant the beans, the later they harvest the beans, then their window to plant Safrinha corn gets much smaller. So again, not an issue now, but those are some of the trigger points that markets will react to in relation to South America weather. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Clint McLaughlin, Riley Sykard, Midwest Market Management. You can check us out on our website at midwestmarketmanagement.com. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets, capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.